In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a cohesive mini-series from the 5 types of collage papers taught in my 5 most recent YouTube art demos. Hello, my name is Catherine Rains. I'm a mixed media collage artist, and welcome to Tune In Tuesday, where I share art demos to expand your mixed media toolbox. If you see value in this video, I would deeply appreciate a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe to my channel below. Links for all the collage papers used to create these collages are down below, as well as links to the other 6 videos where I showed how to create a cohesive mini-series that also harmonizes with the mini-series in this video. You might also want to check out my free 5-lesson online workshop, Collage Kickstart, where I teach you how to use all the collage papers taught during Tune In Tuesday to make a fabulous collage the very first try. So let's get into creating a cohesive collage series from 5 types of collage papers. Today I want to take the last 6 collage papers that I created for Tune In Tuesday and continue my collage series using those collage papers. Now, what you're seeing here are 6 different mini collage series that I've created using 37 different types of collage papers. They're all in my Tune In Tuesday videos. So although these represent 37 different types of collage papers, these all fit together as a series because all the papers were made using just 2 colors. Phthalo blue-green shade, Hansa yellow light, plus a little white and black to create some different values and shades. By consistently using the same 2 primaries, but mixing them in different ways, I can create many types of collage papers, put them all into collages together, and they all go together. Even though in each one of these 6 mini-series, none of them repeats any of the same papers. They repeat the same colors. This is the giant pile of papers that represent 6 types of collage papers. And as you can see, I have got a lot of papers to choose from. Way too many papers to make this a joyful collage making experience. First, let me show you the papers I'm going to select from. So the last papers I made were the bevel papers. Then I have the spraying over different common objects. I've got the interesting textures or subtle texture papers. We have the root comb applicator papers. Boy, I have a huge pile of these. And then I've got the easy marble papers. Then I actually have some papers inspired by Drew Steinbrecher, probably saying his name wrong. And I'm going to try to incorporate these, or at least one of these, into my collages as well. Now, because these are way too many to choose from, I'm going to go through the process of actually selecting a few favorites out of each one of those 6 types of papers to make my collages from. And this is something I always do when making every single one of my collages. I narrow down my selection of collage papers to ones that I can say I absolutely love. So I'm going to do that right now. So the way this is going to work is this is the yes pile, this is the no pile. So here we go. So no and yeses. What I want to see is far fewer papers heading over here because these are the ones that I can say, honestly, I absolutely adore. Okay, my papers are sorted. As you can see, most of them are over here. I've got a very short pile here. Now the next step is to sort these into light, medium, and dark values. So this one could actually go into all 3 categories, but I'm looking at the paper as to what parts of this would I most likely use. And I'm thinking something around there, which is either a light or a medium value. I love that. So I'm going to put that in the medium pile. So we have light, medium, and dark. Again, the same here. It could go into at least 2 values, but I'm thinking I would probably use more the light values of this. Oh my gosh, some of these I love so much. I just want to frame this. Now this was actually my slough off paper. I was actually just cleaning my brush on this, but it ended up being one of my favorite papers. So that's my dark. Now, as I go, I'm kind of thinking, do I really, really want to use the paper? And I like this, but if I have any hesitation, I'm thinking, I don't know. Yes, no. Okay, then it goes away. Now, sometimes it's hard to determine whether something's a light, medium, or dark. This is more in that category, although it also looks kind of dark to me. So I'm going to stick it in medium. So this compared to that, this one's definitely darker. Now this one's hard because the paint is kind of darkish, but the white paper makes it light. More likely, I'm going to use something with a lot of the white on it. Okay, I've got my light, medium, and dark. Now I'm going to start using a selection of these to put into 2 5x5 collages. And I've pulled out 2 pieces of Bristol paper, kind of thick paper, probably over 100 pound. And this is what I'm going to create 2 mini collages from this selection of papers. Before I start any collage, I remind myself of the basic guidelines that I'm going to follow in composing this collage. For this one, my intention is to use 1 piece of paper from each of the 6 types of collage papers that I most recently made for YouTube. So this little 5x5 will contain, hopefully, 6 pieces of paper from different collage making demos. I also want each one of those pieces of paper to be a different size, and for each one to be placed next to a different value, which I'll show you in just a second. What I do to find my very first piece of paper to go down is to look among all the papers I have and look for one that is just basically screaming at me, saying, choose me. And it's really the one that I just like the most at the moment. And these 2 papers are the ones that kind of jumped out at me. This is the bubble paper. So I think either one of these would make me happy. I'll cut this one down if I end up using this one. I think I'm going to start with this one. And this is my starting point. So now I'm looking for something darker than this, and it has to be in a different type of paper. So I don't want a bubble paper. This is from the textured paper demo. And when I placed that next to this one, I went, oh, wow. I love the lightness of this and the darkness of this. Now, obviously, this needs to get cut down, but this is a good starting point. But now I want to put something right here. And again, I'm looking for contrast as well as a different type of paper. So I've got a bubble paper, a lightly quiet textured paper. And then I found this is a spray painted paper. And I think that is really interesting as well. So again, I'm looking for where my substrate actually is. So I think something like that might be a really beautiful contrast. 3 pieces of paper, 3 types of paper. I'm really enamored with this root comb applicator paper. So I'm thinking maybe I could just cut it down a little bit. So kind of playing around with how could I add that. Now this is too close in color for me. It's not going to stand out, but I could place it maybe up there. It's interesting. I cut this one out a little while ago. Let me try that one. Ooh, I really, really like that one. So right now I've got 4 pieces of paper: bubble, texture, spray paint, and root comb applicator. So I'm looking for 2 more. I start pulling out papers from the other 2 types of papers that I haven't used yet. This is the Easy Marble. Like that a lot. I also found this one. So I was thinking maybe I could break up this line a little bit and put that here. Oh, I like that. Let me try this one. No, I like that even better. I also want each one of them to be a different size. So by putting this little strip of paper here, that changes the size of this one. And actually, this one and this one are kind of the same size. So I would want to make that one a little bigger. So each one is distinct. So I like that. Now I'm going to play with taking this out, putting this other one in that I like, oh yes, I like that even better. And what I'm looking for is just a reaction within myself. Like if I can say, yeah, oh yeah, much better, then I've got it. Now it's kind of hard to see it completely because it's oversized here. I need to cut it down. So now I've got 5 papers out of 6. The only paper I haven't included is from my Drew papers, which were gel prints. So I start playing around with different things I might be able to get from that gel print. And I actually played around with this for some time, and honestly, I couldn't find something that I liked. So I think I'm going to leave it with just the 5, which I'm perfectly happy with. 5 different types of papers in 5 different sizes, I think works. So I'm going to spend a few minutes cutting these pieces down to size so that they're, a perfect square to fit my substrate, and then I'll glue them and I'll show you the end result. But meanwhile, I'm going to go on to composing my second in this mini series. To start my second collage, I'm going to do the same thing in terms of beginning the collage, and that is just to select a piece of paper that I really love. This is a piece of easy marble paper that's actually over an old envelope window, which I think is really cool. So I just place one piece down, and that gives me a starting point to start building things around it. I want something that has a high contrast to this in a different size. And this is one of my favorite papers. It's just this dark, mysterious looking paper. This is one of the textured papers. So I'm going to just try randomly laying it down. And I really do like the look of those two together. So then I need something right here that's a much lighter value, and again, a different type of paper. I've got easy marble, I've got the subtle texture paper, and then I find this is a spray painted paper. Laying against these two, I just think are gorgeous. So I'm just going to play around with where on this paper I might be able to find something I like. Then I find this little piece of scrap that was from the same piece of paper. Lay this here. I was like, yes, that is beautiful to me. The colors all go together and they're different values. I've got dark, I've got medium, and I've got light, and 3 different types of papers. So now I need a bubble paper and also a root comb applicator. So I pull out some of my root comb and start placing it against here. See if I might be able to, I actually think that might be really interesting. So I'm going to try cutting that out. That could be an interesting contrast. So I just kind of play around with where would this go? Like I'm putting a puzzle together. And then I also want a piece of my bubble paper, and this is one of my favorite bubble papers that I made. So I'm gonna just play around with cutting one of these circles out to place on the collage and see what I can do with it. And I really like the idea of this being a circle because it gives me a different shape, a different size for this collage. Because so far I've got 3 rectangles, so a circle gives me something else that would draw the eye to it. Actually, I like this a lot. This is probably one of my favorite papers ever. That could be interesting, kind of cut off like that. I don't know, that might be something there. Okay, I think I've got my design. Now, the only thing I'm missing is a piece of Drew paper, and I cut this little piece out from this larger gel print, hoping that maybe I could fit this on here. And I might be able to do something like that. So I'll try that at the end and see if that might work. However, this by itself, I actually like a lot. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2. I've got 5 pieces of paper. So I'm happy with that. And that's exactly what the other collage had as well. I'm going to cut this up just so that it all fits on the substrate and glue it down. And I'll show you the final result with both collages together. My 2 new collages are all trimmed up. And as always the case, the 2 I just finished are the ones I love the most. I love that I have all 5 of my most recent papers that I've done on Tune and Tuesday on here. The only paper I couldn't fit onto this collage was the papers that were inspired by Drew, my gel printing friend, and maybe I'll fit them into another collage series. I just couldn't make them work with this one, but these are just, oh my gosh, I love them so much. And this is how my 2 new collages fit into my entire Tune and Tuesday art collection. And although I love these 2 the most, because they're my newest ones, I love how they all fit together because they all were created with just 2 primaries. phthalo blue-green shade, Hansa yellow light, plus black and white, which makes these all fit together into a cohesive series. If you would like to know how I glued these two collages, as well as all the collages and the glues that I use to do that with, I do have a video under this video, under the word more. And if you would like to see demos on the entire collection, I have links to all of those demos underneath this video too, under the word more. So now I am so excited about my two newest collages. I'm thinking I'm gonna make a couple more because once I get started, I can't stop. And thank you for coming along for my most recent addition to my Tune In Tuesday art collection. To learn how I created the 5 types of collage papers used in this mini-series, click on the link that is about to appear right here. And be sure to join my free 5-lesson online class, Collage Kickstart. The link to sign up is under the word more below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would be deeply grateful if you would. And I'll see you here next week for another Tune In Tuesday.